There's a lot of really damaging misconceptions out there that I think it's important to unpack before we even start to talk about a birth chart or what a certain planet and a certain sign means. Because without that philosophical understanding of how astrology works, you're going to approach the tool with an extremely limited and incorrect mindset. So today I want to break down the 3 most damaging myths that I see circulating the internet about astrology and replace them with the truth so that you can really approach astrology as the spiritual self-development tool that it is and get the maximum benefit from it. People who are new to astrology or don't really know a lot about astrology tend to believe that astrology is telling you what to do. I see things like move toward your north node if you want to live in your purpose. It's tempting and enticing to think, oh, if I just understand this one part of my chart, I'll know my purpose. People start to believe, oh, it's as simple as putting these pieces of my chart together to understand this really complex thing about myself. And in doing that, we give our power away. We say, oh, the chart's going to tell me what to do and I'm going to go do it. That's a prescriptive approach to astrology. Instead, I want you to think about astrology as being descriptive. What it shows you is the energetic patterns and the archetypes you're working with. But it never tells you exactly how things will unfold. It's never going to give you pinpoint precision. Number one, because the symbols are archetypal, which means they're going to show up in an infinite multitude of ways throughout your life. And this is why you can study your birth chart for your entire life and still get something new out of it every time you come to it, because these placements in your chart are going to show up in so many ways over the course of your life. Astrology is a tool to help you understand the landscape you're in and have a clearer idea of the energy surrounding you at the moment, rather than a rigid set of rules to follow to become self-actualized. This is a big one. What tends to happen is people approach astrology without really thinking about what it all means, and they have this assumption that it's telling you what to do. And the next logical step from there is you should listen to the chart. You should take the advice or trust the chart to tell you what to do. And I do understand this impulse because I think a lot of people come to astrology because they're uncertain. They want some kind of certainty about what's coming. And how great would it be if there was a set of instructions that just said, here's what to do to be totally fulfilled and satisfied and live out your purpose, which, if you can't tell, I really hate that phrase. Your purpose is so complex and it's evolving and changing over the course of your life. But if you believe that astrology is a rigid set of instructions, or that your birth chart is some code you need to crack in order to live out your purpose, you are effectively giving your power away to astrology, to your chart, and saying, hey, you decide for me. You are never going to be happy doing that. You're never going to find a level of satisfaction in your life that I think you're looking for if you give all your power away, if you give all your agency away. Astrology should give you the information you need to make informed choices, not make the choices for you. Raise your hand if you ever thought, I'd love to learn astrology, but there's just so much to remember, or there's so much to learn, or it's way too complicated. I get it, but I think there's a misconception here that the way you learn is by memorizing, when the truth is the best way to learn is to apply information. So you don't need to memorize everything to use astrology. In fact, I would say you don't have to have anything memorized. You might need a reference or a guide at first, but the way you really internalize what the components of a chart mean, what all the symbols mean, is by using them. When you apply or use your knowledge, you learn it much better. And we want to do that right away, like as soon as possible. When I was first learning astrology, I had the impulse to want to know everything. I would spend hours researching, and it was like this thread I was pulling that never ends. And that's the beauty about astrology, is you could learn about it for the rest of your life and still not know everything. However, that can feel really overwhelming and daunting to people, and it can make them just want to give up. So what I want you to know is you're gonna learn best by just getting in there, getting your hands dirty. I want you to pull up your birth chart and take out a keyword guidebook, right? Take a look at the keywords and start thinking about what it means for you. This is a much better way to learn astrology because you are going to start creating your own symbolic lexicon, your own understanding of what these symbols mean. You do need to have a base level of knowledge, but you don't even need to worry about committing it to memory when you're just getting started. You just need a reference so that you don't spend a million years researching, and you need your chart so that you can start to make sense of the symbols. And I will tell you another really great tool for doing this, if you don't want to look at your personal birth chart or you want other charts to look at, is to pull up celebrity charts. You can go on Astroseek, you can search by birth chart placement and really get a feel for how different planets and different signs manifest in the lives of famous people. It's really fascinating and you can learn a ton about astrology this way. So the takeaway for all of these myths, astrology is descriptive, not prescriptive. We don't go to the chart to tell us what to do. We go to the chart to get a greater understanding of the energetic context we find ourselves in. What astrology does is it gives us the information we need to make informed, aligned decisions. And we never go to the chart to tell us what to do. And then you don't need to learn every single detail about astrology in order to start thinking about your birth chart on your own, to use it for spiritual self-inquiry. You simply need to start looking at charts and start making sense of placements and practice interpreting those placements. And as you do that, your astrology knowledge is going to start accumulating very quickly. My hope is that this talk is making you rethink the way you approach astrology and seeing how empowering it can be as a spiritual tool. If you want a structured, easy way to actually start using astrology in your life, I created a learning library called Astrology for Everyone. You can go at your own pace, you have lifetime access, and if there's ever something you want to learn, you can request new content anytime by simply sending me an email, and I will make that new material for you. Come hang out with me on Instagram at selfhelpwitch. Let me know what questions you guys have, and I hope you have a great day.